Hello, hello. We are live. It is Friday, March 24th, 2023. We are here for the daily transmission. So thank you so much for joining me. I am tired, y'all. I'm supposed to go to a yoga class in the afternoon, and every time I do this, it just completely fucks up my whole rhythm. So please bear with me as I am midway through my second cup of tea this morning and really just trying to make it. I told my fiance this morning, I'm like, listen, I don't care if I have an afternoon class, like I don't care what's going on. I really need to have my morning yoga class because just like my energy is not the same. Even if I were to go and give it, hey Jackie, so good to see you. Even if I were to go at 6 a.m. and give it like 20%, and hey Karen, and literally like, like half flow, that would have, and then like laid down on my mat, that would have been better. Like that would have put me in better energy than I'm in right now. Yeah, it's like I slept an extra 2 hours. I slept until 7 a.m. Oh my God. Yeah, so just it's so interesting how even like it feels like a grain of sand. You know what I mean? It's like on the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. But when you're used to doing it every day, yeah. Notice the difference when you don't start a workout in the morning too. It's just, I don't know. And it's just because this is like the rhythm that I have established for the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. Yeah, every time I wake up and I don't start my day with movement, I'm like, who is she? What is happening? Hey, Nicole. So today I thought that I would just like personally, right, take it easy on myself. We have had some big conversations this week, some like real big ones, right? Pluto in Aquarius. I know that a lot of people, I'm going to be writing a post because I've had so many questions about like which house it's transiting for you and like what you may expect. And again, I really like to look at Pluto at this, like it's two different ways that we are examining it or contemplating, right? Which would be the more like collective, societal, global sort of context. And then, yeah, also how it's going to personally affect you. And I actually saw this amazing thread on Reddit last night, where someone was saying, because like, okay, so for those who may not be like super like astro nerdy, which you might not be, maybe you're watching this because you like the way that I translate it for you. But like before the 1800s, we only had up to like Saturn, right? And even now, like there are some astrologers who operate under the philosophy that you don't use placements, like you don't use stars that you can't see the light from, that it's about the light that they emit. Okay, so with that said, and not the light that they emit, because like they don't emit light themselves. I mean, well, I guess some stars do, but like I'm thinking about planets, right? That they don't necessarily emit light themselves. It's like the reflection of the sun off of them. No, anyway, whatever. But the discussion was that if Pluto is going to be transiting a fuckload of your personal planets, like I don't care what traditional astrologers say, like you will have some personal experience with Pluto. Now, if Pluto is about to transit a house for you that you've got nothing going on there, like maybe you've got zip fucking zilch in Aquarius, and like maybe you don't have anything that would be like, right? So Aquarius is one of our fixed signs. So maybe you don't have anything in Taurus or Scorpio or Virgo. No, Virgo's the mutable. Gemini? No. Leo. Oh my God. It took me a long time. It's right across, Fanny. Come on. This is how tired I am. I can't even picture the chart in my head. But right, maybe you don't have anything going on in the fixed signs. Okay. this might not be right. Like maybe Pluto's transit into Aquarius isn't going to be some like epic event for you. And in that regard, like lucky. I have 5 placements in Capricorn and Pluto has been there, and my sun and my moon. So Pluto has like really fucked my whole day up for the last like 15 years. And so I am personally relieved to get him out of here. But if you have a lot of Aquarius placements, keep an eye on my Substack. I will be posting something within the next week about Pluto's transit in the houses. So not that we're going to go deep dive into that super serious conversation like I almost just did, but what I thought that I would do today, just to take it easy on myself, is share with you a little bit about Gene Key 17, because that is where the sun is headed tomorrow. We are finishing up the transit in 25. That is universal love, right? The way of acceptance. I laughed out fucking loud when I opened up this book today, because we're here talking about the way of farsightedness. This is Gene Key 17. And so we're moving from opinion to omniscience, okay? And that's how we talk about the gene keys, is that we've got the shadow and we've got the siddhi, the essence, the enlightened, like Buddhic form of the gene. And because you're not an enlightened being, chances are, the best that we can hope to get you reach, or what we can hope to reach for, is that middle, right? It's the way of farsightedness. So it's moving from opinion to omniscience. It's moving from, right, this is the way I think, to like understanding how everything works. Okay. So the reason I laughed out loud about this morning, I love this about the 64 ways, right? This is a note that he being Richard Rudd includes in here that we don't see in the like basic Gene Keys text. He includes this word, a dilemma. And I like to think of the dilemma as like the shit you catch yourself in to get self-awareness. Oh shit, I'm in my shadow again. Because so often we're in our shadow and you don't see yourself in it, but you can see yourself in your own drama. And that's the dilemma. Okay. So I laughed out loud because I told you, like, I didn't start my day with yoga. So my day, like, if you thought like I just walk around all day, I mean, you probably never thought that. I can't imagine a single person would think that I just walk around like a Zen, like, right, Kundalini fucking master all day long and just like not getting mad at people, because like, y'all, that's not true. I came to this path for inner peace because your girl did not have it. And so with that said, like I told my fiance this morning, I'm like, I do need to go to yoga in the morning, even if I have an afternoon class, or even if I want to do something later, because my energy is so different. I have no patience. I have no chill. I'm yelling in my car again. I am angry for no reason. And it's just like I understand psychologically, like when you're in the car, your body is moving faster than it should. And so your mind is in fight or flight, whether you want to think about it like that or not. Like that is just what it is. Okay. Your body should not be moving that fast physiologically, and it knows that. And so you get defensive or offensive or whatever, because it's a state of protection. Like knowing why you're in your shit is not the same thing as being able to like process, synthesize, and choose something different. Okay. And so I told him, I'm like, I still have to work so hard. Like I'm really good at choosing love and choosing to see things differently and choosing inner peace over like letting someone or something or some other situation like disturb my peace. I'm really, really getting good at this now, except when I'm driving, when I'm in the car, and except when it comes to politics. Like I still have a really hard time. That is where I still need to have a lot of spiritual growth, is in that realm. And so the shadow of this gene that we're about to move into tomorrow, right? The sun highlights Gene Key 17 tomorrow. So it's the way of farsightedness. It goes from opinion The shadow is opinion to omniscience, right? To like God, like the knowing of everything. Okay. The shadow of opinion. What's the dilemma? What is it, y'all? Is it politics? I screamed. Like, are you serious? And so I highlighted a few things that I thought would be good just to contemplate over the weekend, because I have a feeling that over the weekend, there are going to be conversations that come up. There are going to be, whether you're going to a family event, whether you're going to some kind of community event, something, right? We are going to be, ooh, this is such a good exercise for us. Y'all, God is writing some fucking incredible storylines up there. The plot thickens, okay? Because Pluto just moved into Aquarius. I know, and Mars is moving into Cancer. So listen, I know you want to like get out there and be with people. Like, I know you want to get out there and like do your part and care about people. And that's going to have to require you to like lose your judgment, or like be able to drop your judgment of other people, right? And it says like, why is this a shadow? You know, why is it bad to have an opinion? It's not bad to have an opinion. You're allowed to think the way that you think. It's about being trapped and victimized by your opinion, right? It's about being so stuck in the way that you think that you are completely incapable of recognizing the humanity or like honoring the other opinion of someone else, like the perspective or experience of another human. Like, you may not like the way that the other side, right? I call the red team and the blue team. Okay. You might not like the way that one or the other fucking teams operates, or like what their agenda is. It's like, that's really not up to you. Like, how often are minds changed by fighting with someone and telling them about how wrong they are? This is also, y'all, why I think, and like, y'all, people can, right? Obviously, you're welcome to take my opinion or leave it. I really don't care. I think that a big part of the problem with the way that the Me Too movement has evolved, or like has like manifested itself, is that it all comes from this. It all comes from this place of like anger. And listen, you're allowed to be angry about it. No, people are not allowed to treat you any kind of way. No, like, we're not going to justify or validate like abuse. However, we do need to acknowledge or understand like it, like shaming someone. Like, think about your kids, if you have kids, or just like think about children in general. How often is telling them about how bad they are an effective way of getting them to understand why an action or why something is harmful to another person, right? Like, my kid lying to me about something, like, she may not understand why it's harmful. I need to not shame her about it. And because all that does is it teaches her how to be a better fucking liar. That's not going to do anything. Like, prison. Oh man, I'm not going to go like deep today. Nope. Whatever. We're going where we're going. Like, capital punishment, just like none of this is helpful. Like, shaming people and telling them about how bad they are is not going to do anything. It's not going to fundamentally change behavior. It's not going to heal the world. It is not going to, no, it's going to get people to get sneakier. It's going to like they're talking about banning TikTok right now. So first of all, the reason that they're talking about banning TikTok, in case you missed it, in case you're wondering why, is because they can't control it. Right? It is operated in another country. This is how a lot of like news is getting shared right now. Like East Palestine, Ohio, like nobody would know about it or be taking it seriously if it weren't for TikTok. However, them banning TikTok is the same mentality as banning guns or banning abortion or banning drugs. How much is the war on drugs? Like, I can go get drugs anywhere. Like, I can call somebody up and get drugs right now. Is that doing anything? No. Nope. It's just incarcerating people and like breaking down humanity and like creating more like separation than is necessary. And it's there to create legal like slavery, but we're not really going to go down that rabbit hole right this second. The intellectual mind is all about politics. It is all about the defensiveness or the offensiveness or my side, my side, my side. Okay. We're not going to be able to like make progress or work together or like get anywhere if we are so rooted in how we think things should be. Like, I think I should be allowed to walk around at night without fearing for my safety. I think that that is something that should be the case, but all of the reasons that if I were to list them, like all the reasons that I may or may not feel like may feel unsafe, they're all symptoms of larger problems. And those problems are, we can't just like punish, like we need to address with solutions. You know, it's fascinating to me. I learned so much about the nature of substance dependence through my relationship to my fiance. He is sober 6 years, which is astounding. It is amazing. I grew up with two parents who struggled with substance dependence. One is still alive, still doing her best, I hope. And my father passed away when he was 42. 42? Like, holy shit, you know? I saw them both, though, go to either, in my mother's case, like court-ordered detoxes and court-ordered rehabs, and they're not rehab, or I don't know, whatever. It's a detox facility that is very much like, I've been in like psychiatric facilities, and that's like what it feels like, right? It's like every door is locked behind you, in front of you. It feels like prison. And there was that, and like halfway houses, and halfway houses were like not in great neighborhoods, and they were like, it was just not great, you know, like not great circumstances. And I really remember this growing up and feeling like so frustrated, like they must not want to be sober. Like they, like, it's not important enough to them. They should be, right? This or that, whatever. Or like, people just, you want to like shame people for the choices that they make, or for the perception that they have, or for the experience that they're having. And like that opinion, like it is like, have you even taken a moment to wonder like what their experience is or their perspective? You know, my boyfriend or my fiance, he's been able to get sober, but like the way he describes his rehab facility is like a fucking resort, you know, like I can't imagine how much it actually cost. There was like IV treatments and Kundalini yoga and like wheatgrass shots and group therapy, and like just the way he describes it sounds like a retreat, you know, but with like a lot of very intentional like therapists and very intentional specialists. And you know what he learned about himself is like, obviously, you know, he was using these substances like as a coping mechanism for something else, right? To help him with other emotional things that he wasn't ready to face. And that's where we get into, right, the way of farsightedness. That's when we can like step back from our own opinion and be like, oh, like maybe the way that they're thinking, maybe the way that they're feeling, maybe the strongly held opinions that they have are, I don't need to understand them. Like, I don't know. It talks about this being the heart mind, right? Like if opinion is like your intellectual mind and it's just like the way you think, then the gift of this is like about the knowing that you feel in your heart, right? The knowing that you feel that like people have the perspective that they do or the opinions that they do, usually because it is from a place of fear. It is from a place of they are afraid and they are trying to protect themselves. So the more that we get into the Aquarian era, the more, and again, this is just a preview this year, but like the more that we get into this era of people people. The more that we get into this era of innovation and community and society and progress, we have to understand that for progress to truly happen, we have to be willing to hear other people out and not to start it from a place of you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, but to like come to the table with an open heart. And you're allowed to still have your perspective and your opinion, but that also you have to leave room for other people to have that too. I was even, and you know what, I'll just say this and then I think I'll close. We were out getting pancakes last night and we were at like a diner, you know, and there were these two groups that came in and both of them, like, again, if you thought that like, I'm just like amazing over here and I'm just like, so like zen and full of love all the time, like absolutely not. One of my biggest shadows that I have to work through is like judgment. And this of course comes from like literally growing up in pageants and like my first 7 years of life being all about like, oh, people are judging me, I have to be perfect. And so I do the same. Like, oh, you're whatever, acting in a way that I find what is my ego even talking about? But right, so there was these two groups of people who came into the diner that ordinarily like my ego would just make all kinds of decisions about who they are, what kind of energy they're gonna have in this diner and how that's going to change like our experience in some way. And I just like I had that like half a step in that direction mentally. And I just like took a step back internally and was like, wait. What if I decided that they are the exception to my judgmental rule, right? Like there are always people that are going to surprise you. There are always like old people that are like super cool and hip, right? And there are always going to be people who surprise you in any community, right? There's always going to be people who are subverting stereotypes, okay? And like lo and behold, last night when I just like dropped my opinions of who I thought they were going to be and my judgment of who the way I thought that they were going to behave, like everybody was super cool, super chill. Like I got a couple of smiles from even one of the tables, like they had, you know, some kids. And just like, what a world. I don't have to know them. I don't have to agree with everything that they think. I don't have to like be kind and to like collaborate and to come together. Like we're going to have to, y'all. Like we are literally going to have to. We're going to have to learn how to come together. Because it's not a red team, blue team, your side, my side. This is how things should be. Like how things should be is that the fucking proletariat should not be doing all of the work. Like we should not be literally the imbalance in support, the imbalance in wealth and quality of life in everything. Like that's my shit, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, just things to think about, things to contemplate this weekend. If you find yourself in community, if you find yourself in space with people who ordinarily you might think, oh my God, these people, like, ugh, this again, like we're never going to get anything done, or we're never going to be able to, or this is super going to suck, right? Maybe just like chill out, maybe let people surprise you. And also like they could be thinking the same thing about you too. Like maybe you could be the person to surprise them. Who knows? I'm sure I surprise people all the time. I'm sure people look at me and have all kinds of opinions about who I am and what kind of a person I am. And I surprise them all the time. So, yeah, that's it. I love y'all so much. Happy Friday. I'm going to go to yoga later. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And I will see you on Monday for our next transmission. Bye, friends.